Hey, YouTubers! Samson's going to help us join in. Today is our official emergency preparedness day. We will pretend that the power is out. We have a generator. Step 1. Turn the circuits off. Okay, so in my sunroom, I have a power strip that needs to be turned off. And I think that only goes by the plug. So we will unplug the power strip. It's a little dark, isn't it? That's what happens when the power goes out. Unplugged. Then we have the freezer. Currently running, but that's what happens when the power goes out. Turn the power strip off. And from the same circuit, I have this super cool 10-foot extension cord built directly into a Fellows power strip. And we're going to turn that off. And in a real case scenario, we would definitely make sure that the fan and the light are turned off. Okay, so there's no power to the sunroom. That's going to be step 1. Let's see what happens. Step 2. Now what we have here is connection for the sunroom. These are my outdoor party lights. I also use the outdoor party lights to tell me when the power comes back on. And then we have the big ass 30 amp for the RV. So we've got 2 plugs. And down here is going to be the extension cord that we're going to use to connect big ass 30 amp. That's going to be later if our sunroom is a successful test. And then of course the 110 can just connect right in here. Now green extension cord is going to come back up to where our generator is. And Generator Jim from YouTube, he turned me on to the kilowatt meter. There's going to be our 110 to provide the power. It's going to tell me what kind of a volt we're getting out of the generator, what kind of hertz is coming out of that generator, and then later on, when I have everything connected, we can see what kind of amps and watts I'm pulling. So, next step, let's get the tank and the generator out here. See you in a moment. Okay, here we are. We've got the propane fully open. We've got the hose connected. And now, from all the lessons learned from previous trials and errors, we know we're going to set it to choke. We're going to gently pull. Five times. Now let's pull it hard. I'll set it to the run position. Let's go back to choke. She's running. Right. So we have to let it come up to temperature for a few moments. This is generally when I would go inside and turn everything off while the generator warms up. We're currently on eco mode, and for our first kilowatt test, let's keep it on eco mode. All right, let's plug that in and see what kind of a reading we get. Still can't believe how quiet it is. 56 decibels. Holy smokes. So we're getting 127 volts. And our hertz is a beautiful 60. So my shoreline power is definitely not 127 volts. I get more like 121, 122. Okay. That would lead to the next step of plugging in the extension cord that has nothing attached to it drawing power. So let's do that now. Now we're on eco mode. I'm not even going to try anything on eco mode because of the refrigerator and the freezer, but I'm sure it could run my entertainment center with the light and the fan. So let's just bail out of eco mode. Alright, I'm going to leave the camera here while I plug in the sunroom that has nothing attached to it. Let's see where we go from there. Okay, sunroom plug is now connected. I see that our volts have come down to 124. We should not be pulling any amps because nothing is on, and we shouldn't be pulling any watts because nothing is on, and we still have our hertz at 60, which is a good thing. And I'm going to go turn the first breaker on, which will be the entertainment center. Let's see what kind of watts and amps we pull out of that one. All right, here's the scoop. We have the flat screen TV, laptop, external hard drive, a router, the satellite modem are all connected and turned on. We're pulling 128 watts at 1.48 amps. Seems to be no problem. I believe the next item would be that freezer. Let's kick on the freezer and see what happens. With the freezer on, we're looking at 230 watts, pulling 2.20 amps. So that's looking good. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn the fan on high along with the 60 watt light bulb. We now have the ceiling fan is running on maximum along with the 60 watt light bulb. We're pulling 320 watts at 2.84 amps. say 3 amps. Now that last power strip, the only thing it does is control my floor heater, and for today's test we are not going to be running any electric heat. $316 watts is basically running the entire sunroom. So now I'm going to shut the fuses off in the RV circuit breakers and then plug the RV into our extension cord to see what the refrigerator is pulling. Yes, I'm back with you. Well, the refrigerator is running. We're at 2.82 amps. I believe the freezer is still running too, so with the brand new refrigerator going, we're at 313 watts. Seems to be awfully low. Everything is running except the microwave, the coffee maker's not running, and of course no electric heat. So let's go take a peek, make sure that the freezer and the refrigerator are actually running. So far this is turning out to be a good success. Okay. There we go. That baby kicked up to 1,000 watts right for that quick second. I wish I would have been here a little sooner. Now I bet the refrigerator compressor kicked on. So that cranked up to 1,000 watts. And then it steadies down to 411. And we're pulling 3.6 amps. So I'm definitely not going to feel comfortable about running any electric heat as those devices kick on and off. But that's nice, smooth 400 watt pull. Should work just fine for this champion. Okay, emergency preparedness day is off, and what we're going to do is turn off the circuits individually. We're going to let the generator continue to run, and then I will unplug everything before turning the generator off. Now, the only thing I wanted to mention was that when we're on shore power, I always have a red and a green light on. The red light says protected and green light says grounded. But when we were on generator power, it was only a red light for protected and there was no green for grounded. Maybe next time I will use my handy dandy little plug that kind of tells you about reverse neutral, if there's a ground, if everything's okay, and you just kind of stick that into any plug and it'll let you know 2 lights that are yellow is correct, and then there's different lights that mean different things. So that gives me something to do on the next emergency preparedness day. But anyway, quite a success. I do believe that the generator will provide the power we need when the power is out.